G'day race fans, it's Adrian here. Welcome back to Just a Ride. G'day guys, hope we're all well. So here we are at the marriage, the holy union. Holy, bliss. First cab off the ranks is get that frame off the rafters of the Just a Ride headquarters. I thought I fired that continuity officer. That prick will never work in this place again. Second cab off the ranks is as hard as it is to do to break the seal of that powder coating just but on one portion of the frame where it meets the engine. You need a healthy earth between bare ass metal and bare ass metal touching chassis and engine to ensure that the bike is earthed and you're going to bloody spark. So yeah, as painful as that is, you got to get the old Dremel out and take a little bit of powder off one of those little tabs, the engine tabs on the frame, just on the inside. Yep, so I cracked into that. Okay guys, come on down to the bench and let's get this on. Geez, that's close, isn't it? So I've got the safety bucket in play once again there. Let's have a holy union, shall we? Righto, it's marriage time. I've got this teetering. I've got like two bungee straps on the arse end of the bike clipped onto the stand, and I am very much right on the teetering point this side. So I'm going to weight up the back of the bike. Let's do that, shall we? I'm going to get the swinging arm. The swing arm I'm going to chuck on because when the engine goes in, this bolt here goes through both the swing arm and the donk, the rear end of the engine. So probably best to get this in play, sort of out of the way initially until the engine goes into the cradle, and then that'll ideally pivot. This pivot, it went, yeah. Just pivot into place. So for now, it's just going to be hanging off the rear shock mount, which is cool. Got to find. Found it. That should help the balance of the bike now too on that stand. Just having a bit more. Yep. Okay. Engine time. Engine time into a freshly powder coated frame. Oh! What can I do? You can't help but touch that engine into the frame in a few places. So I'm going to think laterally about this one. Let me give you a close up here, guys. Obsessive compulsive or just organized? You be the judge of that. Okay, let's get a little bit, just one Ooh, just one engine bolt ready to go at hand, because you know when you do need it, you're going to be holding something and just hold, and you're going to get so that is going to be at the ready. Righto. Whoop, straight in, swing arm up, bolt in. We should be good. I've robbed as much room as I could off of this, like the carburetor, the spark plug, everything I could to make it as small as I can. But the Kickstarter and gear lever actually sometimes can be beneficial. Ooh, this will be good. Balance. Yes, okay. Pretty damn close there. Grab that. Oh, it's can't be good. A bit crooked, that's why. There we go. Oh yeah, it was pretty good. That went all the way home, let me tell you. So the swinging arm pivot bolt, I actually, in the processes of getting this thing off, this was so manky and so near seized in its position that the abuse that I gave it, which was too much for the thread, and subsequently I then went to a local engineering mob. Wasn't Saul's. This was more of a dude who's on the tills. Saul's is more of a place of, I need to buy bearings. So old matey has sorted the thread on that, and I asked him, I said, oh, can I have a look at the size of the die that you did it with? You know, I've only got wee ones, you know, down here at bloody 8mm. I wanted to see this massive bloody metal die that weighed 8 kilos. And he goes, no, I didn't use the die at all. I just ran it out on the lathe. That was his term. I didn't understand a word of it, but it kind of made sense, you know. You just put it in the lathe and ran it out. Just get that, just wants to come up. Well, nothing suggested here, is there? Not at all. I do love bikes. That is a fact. I've disengaged the rear shock. That's kind of preventing me, giving me some of the wiggle room that I kind of need. This is the best thing I've come up with so far, the least abusive, intrusive thing to the actual metal in the bike, you know. It is working. I can see it walking in there. How are we looking? Pretty damn good. I think I may patent this. tell you. That was the secret. I had this rear shock attached initially, and that was just didn't give me enough sort of lateral movement, sort of sideways stuff with the swinging arms to try and get it in the position. So go to my website, guys. These are $4,000 each. I can gladly attest to this being absolutely ridiculous overkill. I don't think I even touched the frame at all. There's no witness marks on the tape. So I did something good, right? And anal much? Or just organised. Like I said, every piece of tape here has got the quick edge cutaway. Ooh. Easy access, quick removal. That's all right. All right. That's it. Just a ride coming at you in 3D. Lucky. Okay, I really think. Let's try that 3D thing again. Oh my God, that was woeful. I really think I should get the bike off of the safety bucket. I'll just draw your attention to, you probably can't see me, I'll take them off. I've upgraded the safety thongs for those of you who are concerned that in the garage I don't exercise the proper PPE, PPE, PEP, I don't know what it's called, but the new gaff tape. Sweet, I got that. So I'm going to get this bike down onto just the dirt bike stand minus the safety bucket before it gets any heavier, and you literally have to ride it off. So I'm going to try and grab the bike and this stand as well. This could be something you show to my chiropractor later on. I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to pick this up and just kick that bucket out. Yeah, the wood was there as well, wasn't it? I remember now. I remember putting the wood down. Oh. It's not balsa wood either, just quietly. Alright. Okay. Professional, tell me about that. Alright. Just as a side note too, as I did last time with Audrey, the CB125, I get the frame back from the powder coaters, and just to be sure, I throw I throw a die cutting tool in everything that had a thread, because at that point, before I do that, it no longer has thread and is covered in powder coating. So it's always good to get that out. You just want to come just that extra little. There you go. Just have to be a man about it. Alright. Yeah, so I'll throw a little die cut tool through everything that had a thread on this, and probably should have, in hindsight, with the amount of trouble that swinging arm was to put in, marry up against the engine. There was, you know, a bit of tolerance was lost in the amount of powder that went on it. Let's just for shits and giggles, shall we? Just put this in. I'll probably want an axle. I have taken the rear sprocket off of the, so I took that off this wheel because it was too big for my opinion, for my liking, for my want, as is my want. There actually is a brake, rear brakes up here, already bled. Actually, this was a first too. Actually, I bled that whole system. Oh, gross! I bled that whole system on the bench. I just put it on the swinging arm, and I just got a like just a file that, you know, to act as though it were a brake disc for something for the pads to squeeze up against, and it worked pretty damn well, I think. Because I've got a system here that's is bled, and as you can sort of see, I'm trying to keep that reservoir higher than the actual master cylinder, so it doesn't get corrupted. You know what I mean? Oh, I've just got the meatiest brand new rear pads, dude. God, I love that sight. That excites me. Probably come back to meet it and go together. And to think too, I don't even have a rear sprocket on, which would make it even harder. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah. But it wood was a bloody stroke of absolute fluke and stroke of genius, that was. No, that bit of wood, that comes into set with the swing arm putter on or a. Oi. Why you know? There you go. Now, what's the bike balance like right now? Knowing that it has nothing at the front end. Sits there. Cool. You know what? I kind of like it under my $4,000 bit of wood. I'm going to be honest too, aesthetically, let's just go there for a second, guys. I am debating on whether those orange stickers stay on that rim, because the front one has nothing. And as I said earlier, and you witnessed, I'm no stranger to a garish bloody colourway, but you know, that's just little aesthetic things, you know, gear shifter levers, plumbing, that sticker there. I know it's the fashion with the motards, sort of you do a half rim sticker just to give yourself a bloody epileptic fit when you're riding behind your mate. Ugh. Let us just be holding it together, guys. Oh yeah. It's half a bike, isn't it? It's half a bloody bike. Shit. Get that up there. Alright, when this is all said and done, obviously the hydraulic systems, front brake, rear brake, clutch, get bled as well. Just to ensure that the air bubble that would have been finding its way into that master cylinder as we both took it in. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. I like what I sees. A 252 stroke motard. That's a bloody stroke of genius. Just bloody great ideas come out of this garage, don't they? Crikey's, have a go at it. This thing's gonna be off its head. So my got killed myself. 48. Whew. Yeah, big boy. So my 250 SX. Granted, it's a different application. It's a dirt bike. It's got like a 50 on it. So this is a 48. And I'm shopping around for like the high 30s. Honestly, that's how far that's as big as I can go. Or as small as I can go. You know what I mean. But yeah, just to get that balance, of just a slightly taller, longer gear, The engine's got enough torque in it to get it out of that boggy zone, which I don't think that would be a boggy zone, really. It's 252 stroke, and it's fresh and mint and tight and. But yeah, it's half a bike, isn't it? It's a good half. But then the front's fun as well. Oh, it's like picking your favourite kids. Almost looking like a motorcycle. So the next port of call was the head stem bearings and the head stem races. So this is an old race that I've used. You can see, like I cut that little snippet off, just to ensure that its diameter wasn't, was compromisable, and this was what I used to bury the new one in, and confidently that this wasn't going to seat as well because of the little the snip that I put through it. The same with the actual bearing as well. So this is the old bearing race that I used to get the new bearing on. Okay, brand new internal bearing race. Been in the freezer for the last 3 or 4 days, just to give me some chance. It's not dry ice. That stuff's hard to get. Bottoms out on the gooseneck. Okay, fingers. Real close. No good. Powder coating, that stuff's strong, mate, let me tell you. Is that seated? I think it has. Let's give it that one of their insurance. Yep. This one was actually starting to seat in there. Because there's no, yep. Once again, let me get the feeler gauge out. You can feel the little machined edge that this sits on, You can also see the relationship at the top of the crown there as well. And it is nice, and I'm happy. And it's time to get
I know, it's time to get bearings on the triple clamp shaft. Let's do that. Steering head bearings. When I buy balls, I choose to buy all ball bearings. G'day, champions. Hey, that's going on the bike too, just quietly. Got advertised, right? So all they had to do was give me a bloody sticker. Okay, so I've got some dust seals and things that are not needed for right now. Let me just put that in the file. There we go. So these are my bearings that I want to pre-lube before I put on the bike. Just ring it up, isn't it? Oh, sorry. Oh, this feels good. It feels good. I'm going to have trace. But another area. It's one every second. You can't also water, you can breathe the bearing. So, yeah, so I'm going to be honest. Here we go. I've never done this before, steering head bearings. So this is how you do it. Of course I YouTubed it, and of course I spoke to my mechanics about it. So I'm just going to exercise as much talent as I have. Be a quick video, this one. All right, clean yourself up, you're a bloody disgrace. Fresh out of the freezer. That spent about 4 days in there. Ooh, frosty. Okay. This is going to go on like that. Is that? Hang on. Yep. Yippee days. Very, very important that that dust seal doesn't get forgotten. All right. Oh God, already there's resistance? Really? Jesus. I need a plank of wood and a plank of metal over that. That should be fun, won't it? I hope that's... Got the, like I said before, the extra layer of gaff tape safety boots on. All good there, guys. Not to be concerned at all. Alright. Now it's time to start driving it home. Bells are ding donging. That's on. Paranoid. Now it's on. That was a fluke. That fit. And that comes off. Once again, this was an old race. The race that, I admit, I have a confession to make, guys. I didn't take this off. I've never taken one of them off, and I was flummoxed as to how it's done. And so I took it to Full Noise, and Andrew did it for me, no worries. And he gave me all the old bits back, and that's obviously what I'm using to smash this on. And this is the old race that I cut to help persuade the new race on. But he assured me that you just cut the cage, which is obviously what I did to get to that, right? You just cut the cage with side snips, and then the whole roller bearing assembly just falls to pieces, and then you're left with the inner race, which is what I just used to help get the new one on. So I've never done this before, and that's how you do it. I completely asked that, I'll be honest. Okay. It's nice and frosty. Nice. The versatility of the red stool is just unsurpassed. Unsurpassed, I tell you. Okay. let's just have a little yo. Putting that in there. And that goes in like that. That's gonna have to do a little bit of seating, isn't it? Yeah, okay. I can deal with that. I'm gonna get that. I've got to think about this. I actually have the bottom yoke chopped up, not on the red stool, because that's too goddamn valuable. It's on the white safety buckets and some bits of wood, just so I can drive this home. Ooh, you gonna stay there? I think there was a degree of success there. All right, I can remove the safety buckets. I genuinely was quite surprised. I thought that was not going to be thick enough gauge to withstand what I was giving it, but it withstood it, which is nice. Okay, I can think about top yoke. One of them first. Oh, look at that. That's just popped into place. That grease that's in there, that's staying there forever. Oh, this is all just such a sealed unit. So that first dust cap that went down was the external outside diameter seal, and then the O-ring on the shaft was the internal diameter, or ID. OD, ID. Huh? Squally. Yeah, I've got a buddy with a lathe, whatever. Okay. The washer. The very large aluminium bolt. And then once that's tight, there's a pinch bolt on the top triple clamp, or yoke. It's a bit tomato that, isn't it? Just triple clamp. There's 1, 2, 3 bloody holes. It's triple clamp. Not much space to move in here, is there? It'll cinch it up, it'll do the job. It's obviously going to have to go back for a tweak and an official adjustment once it's all, you know, got all the weight of forks and front wheel and stuff on it. Then I'll really sort this tension of this incredibly shallow. That's why I'm slipping on it all the time with the bloody socket. There we go. That's enough for now. It'll do the job. Fool, missed a bit. Oh, there's an O-ring on that. Let me just get that in. That was a test, guys. You failed it. You watched me. I knew what I was doing, you know, the whole time doing that. It's not until you get back to the bench and you have a little stock take and you realise, what's that thing? And you realise that thing is underneath the top yoke, you fool. So let's get this back in place. Now we're done. New fastenings on these radiators. Radiators. That log and that log. So where do you put your fluids in? Just there, you dickhead. Please. Just an initial dry run of my orange plumbing. Sorry, it's orange. I haven't put any hose clamps on it yet, obviously. Just doing a quick little, does it fit, is it long enough? Because that's always a bit of a bugger. You know, but that's, it's a decent little length there. I don't have to adjust that. Get walked. Hopefully. Second verse, same as the first. I have here the hydraulic slave cylinder. That's going to go on here and is, if you can remember, that's actuating that little rod that was on the other side, oh sorry, through the guts of the clutch basket. Yeah. Obviously, slave cylinder. Make go handle. Okie dokie, so route that, and when I obviously get a pair of bars on it, that'll go on the bars. It's all about life behind bars, guys. Chew! Fuck you. Feels like a motorcycle clutch. Lovely.
Tart for tart. So at the moment, you can probably assume the fact that you can see the front wheel there and the bike there. Ooh. It's right now it's sitting in the garage with the original front wheel on it, which is really kooky because it's like a 21-inch front wheel and a 17-inch rear wheel. Dragster much. But that's just so I can sort of move the bike in and around the Just Right headquarters, because the front wheel is gonna take some thinking, some serious thinking. I've dummied it up at, you know, the spaces that are presently in that wheel are gonna be used, if only portionally, to take a bit of a pattern of a design of what it looks like sort of inside. And then the internal diameter has to change because my front axle is way thinner than what the spacer is presently in the front wheel. And there's also a depth and alignment issue. But like I said, I have a friend who owns a lathe. I also have another buddy who's a CNCer. So, can't be impossible, can it? Really? And also some serious thinking needs to now start to go into the ignition system of the engine. Yeah, that's probably the most daunting thing of now, but that's one thing I've experienced with these builds. Like, there's bits of it that you just are shit scared of, you know, and it's just like, oh, you try and put it off, and then you finally, you know, once you... desperation is a fantastic motivator. I think that's probably what it all comes down to. And I'm near getting desperate soon, guys. So there's my motivation. Yes. So I suppose I have no idea what the next episode's going to be, because it's going to have to do some thinking before the next one comes along. I don't know. Cool. On a bounce. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate your time. And be safe and be happy. Ciao!